Hey folks, Eric here at Kelly's Concept. Another video we're doing to update our 2004 4th Gen Toyota 4Runner. We recently took it on a road trip from Dallas to Las Vegas. Ran some problems there and had some problem with wheels. Ended up picking up a used set of wheels while we were in Vegas. So I'll just more on that a little bit later. But today we're going to attack some of the fading that's happened on the 4Runner. So it may be hard to see here, but we have a lot of fading going on the fender flares, the front, rear. But in today's episode, we're mainly going to be focusing on this front grille. It's also pretty faded. I'm just going to go ahead and just remove this. We'll sand it down, clean it up, and then we're just going to paint the whole thing black. I want to do some contrasting on here, as also we'll be upgrading the headlights pretty soon. All right, to dive into it, we'll go ahead and pop up our hood. So while yes, we could probably just tape this off and paint it on here, but you know, I just don't want to have any overspray. So we'll just go ahead and take this whole thing off, and then we'll go ahead and clean it up, sand it down a little bit, and then go ahead and paint it. I'm just going to do a satin black, and help contrast. Soon we'll be replacing these headlights with some black ones. So once you have your hood open, pretty simple. Undo these two 10 millimeters here to remove the latch cover, or the hinge to pull your latch. You could just undo this right here and pop it off, but I'm just going to just undo these two 10 millimeters and then take it off. And then you'll notice behind here you'll have these 10 millimeter nuts. These hold the grill onto the hood, and then we'll just pop right off and then sand it down. All right, I'm just going to use this small Milwaukee impact, and then to use it to zip off these nuts. All right, once you take it off, the whole thing just come right off here. All right, since there's not much damage on here, I'm just going to use some simple green and the Scotch-Brite side of a pad, and we'll just clean it up and scuff it up a little bit. Again, there's no damages, so we don't have to do much sanding. I just want to scuff it up, remove all the dirt, any bugs, and that way we have a good, a little roughed up surface for the paint to adhere to. So here we have it all cleaned up, a little scuffed up from the Scotch-Brite. What I like to do is go ahead and spray with a little brake cleaner or parts cleaner, or some isopropyl alcohol. I'll go ahead and spray down here because it got pretty wet during the cleaning stage. This will help dry up any spots, and plus remove any leftover grease or grime that may have been left over. So I just go ahead and spray it down. Like I said, and plus it's being on the sun, it's 80 degrees today in Dallas-Fort Worth. So I'll just spray it down, and as you see, I don't know if it shows up the camera, but it starts pretty much drying immediately. All right, so we let it sit out in the sun for about 10 minutes to dry off all the brakes parts cleaner. I'm using Rust-Oleum Satin Black, and then we'll just go ahead and spray it on there. Remember folks, light coats, and then come back, get a little bit thicker, but you don't want to have runs. So just do as much, light coats as possible. All right, we'll just go ahead and let that dry and put another coat on a little bit. Here's an update of the unit. It's dried. It's been sitting in the sun about an hour now, so we'll go ahead and put this back on here. So all you gotta do is just put on exactly the same way you took it off. Align the bolts to the holes, and then zip on those nuts. So these are the alignments for the bolts. Get those guys on there and then zip on those nuts. So lastly, you want to put your latch mechanism back on. Now it may look like it wants to go like this, right? But it actually goes underneath it because your screw points are actually on this unit itself. So finagle this thing around and put it back on there. And as mentioned, it should sit behind there so that you thread your bolt into it. I'm only doing one. I only have one hand, so it's a little bit complicated here. And one last thing before going ahead and shutting your hood, just make sure this does release that actuator or the lock mechanism. And there you have it. Upgraded with the black grille. Looks a lot newer. Next project here is we'll be replacing the headlights. So thanks for watching.